My name is Andrea Mandel. I do Biomeridian Assessment. So for those of you who don't know what Biomeridian Assessment is, let me explain to you. Biomeridian Assessment is a way of measuring the energy that run through pathways in the body called meridians. These meridians run through every organ, every system. This is a system that's been used for over 5,000 years. These are what acupuncturists use. But where acupuncturists would insert a needle deep in the tissue to free the energy, what I'm doing is I am touching, I'm measuring the energy, just like an EKG. What I'm looking for is everything to go in this green line here, nothing above, nothing below. That's telling me the energy is not flowing into that organ, that system, the way it should. We can also do this with surrogate testing as well as with a person.
Okay. So Andrea, tell me, if you're doing this with surrogate testing, what kind of specimen do you need?
So what I usually like is either some saliva, some hair. What I would do is I would put it on the plate here. This device has a very strong transmitter receiver. Whatever's put on the plate, it picks up the vibration of the plate, because we know everything is energy, everything vibrates, and this device picks everything up. So whether we're talking about a remedy or somebody's DNA, we will put it here, but I will have another person sitting here, and I will access their hands, their body, but I'll be picking up the surrogate's DNA, the surrogate's energy. What I'm doing is I'm spritzing her hand with water, because this is going to be almost like an EKG where you need a ground and a lead. So this is the ground. You can hold that. You don't have to hold it tightly.
Am I going to get shocked?
Your hair is going to stand up. Steam's going to come out of your ears. No, you won't feel a thing.
Okay.
Let me have this hand, and I'll show you how we do our assessment. And this would be the meridian for the large intestine.
And how do you know that that's the meridian for the large intestine?
Because it says it right there.
Okay, but...
And because that meridian runs all the way to the large intestine and back, and all of the meridians are accessed by the fingertips, the toes. Actually, I could get everything from the fingertips.
Okay, that's good.
So closer to the fingertips, I could get it. So your large intestine is right here in the green, which is where we want everything.
Okay.
We're going to put the client's DNA right there,
Okay.
the client's energy.
Okay.
So we know that your assessment right there was perfect.
Okay.
Let's see how this person's come out. So there's a difference between using a surrogate who's totally balanced, who's taking what she needs, and somebody who needs some help, needs some supplementation.
Okay.
So this is the large intestine. So my usual question is whether they're on probiotics, whether they're going to the bathroom, and we're going to check for yeast and candida.
Okay.
So this is the person's candida marker. Is telling me that she has candida.
Okay.
Now we're going to check you. And you're in the green. You're
I'm taking my probiotic.
You're a good girl. You're a good girl.
Okay.
So when we find somebody who is in need, what we do is we look for a good probiotic. So again, as I said, everything's made up of energy. So we put a remedy on the plate. If that remedy works, it's going to go in the green.
Okay.
If it doesn't, we're going to find something that does.
Okay.
That's a good probiotic, but it doesn't bring her all the way where she needs to be.
Okay.
So let's find something that's going to work.
So what happens when people buy supplements like at Walmart and they think that, they've been told by their doctor to go on a probiotic and they take it and they don't feel any better? So explain what this does.
Because everything is energy. Everything is energy. what might work for you might not work for me. The things that you get at Walmart, the things that you get at Kmart, at Costco, the quality of them leaves a lot to be desired, and it's not going to get where you need it to go. These probiotics that we carry are great, they're high quality, but again, nothing works for everybody. So here's another really good probiotic, and it still doesn't bring her where she needs to be.
All right, we found
It
one.
goes right into the green. We found one.
Okay.
This is a specific blend of a probiotic that she specifically needs. That is the reading of this person's adrenals. The adrenals are two little glands that sit on top of the kidney. The adrenals are your get up and go, it's your fight and flight. And when it's here, when we're talking about the organs, the glands, it tells me it's been all the way up and it's dropped down here. So this person has been under stress for a very long time. It's chronic, it's not acute. So what we're working with now are glandulars, and when you work with glandulars, it doesn't disseminate in your body like a vitamin. It goes directly to the gland that it is, starts to knit it together and rebuild it. So let's see how this one works. Almost, but not quite. It's dropping down, which surprises me because that's strong. It's another product. Let's see where this one goes. Her body likes
Good.
it. Yeah. So, her body specifically wants this. When your adrenals aren't functioning the way they need to function, they put out adrenaline at inappropriate times. So in the daytime, when she needs her energy, it's not there. At night, when she doesn't need it, that's when her brain won't stop. Of course, we're working energetically. We're picking up things that blood tests never will. And we'll pick things up sometimes 2 years before it sets into the physical.
Wow, that's amazing.
So we do a lot of preventative work. The energy of the thyroid.
Okay.
Most of the time when the adrenals are off, we find that the thyroid is off. And that's what we're finding here.
Good. Wow, really high.
I'd rather be high than be under.
Okay.
When it's high, we're talking about acute. When it's low, it doesn't even have the energy to get into where it needs to go. So that's why her adrenals were here.
Okay.
I'm surprised this is here. I expected it to be down there.
If you were on medication, would it make it go up there?
That's probably why it's not down here, but it's still not where it needs to be.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to do. We can't tell anybody not to take their meds, but what we can do is support their body with the meds, and hopefully the doctor will be able to lower the meds, and we could keep them going in a natural way.
Would you be able to test the med on this machine?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Synthroid that the person's on. So that's good. What it's telling me is that it's got the T4, which is Synthroid, but it's not converting to the T3.
Okay.
So iodine to help the T4 convert to the T3. We need the full gland to give the thyroid everything, the T3, the T4, and if a full glandular is going to give that person everything that they need, hopefully the doctor will wean them off like the Synthroid, which is only one hormone. Let's see what the body says. That's perfect.
All right.
That works perfectly. See, I could suggest things that I think you would need, but your body is basically telling me exactly what you need.
Yeah. So there's some practitioners that do this throughout the United States, and they have their own line of supplements. So can that be not a good thing if they're not testing their line of supplements? Or
If they're not testing that line of supplements against the person, it could be a fabulous, fabulous product, but not for them.
Okay.
And that's why we have different things that we test.
Okay.
And again, that's why we tested 2 or 3 things for the adrenals. And only one thing worked, and they're all superior products.
Exactly.
So let's check vitamins, minerals, see what else is going on. Let's spritz your hand. This person is low on their omegas.
Yes, okay.
It's essential fatty acids because they're essential. The body doesn't make it. It's good for inflammation. It's good for the hair, the skin, the nails.
Okay.
Pain.
So what are some omegas that...
Fish oils are great. Hemp oil is good. Coconut oil is good. Sodium. Or selenium is low, and that feeds the thyroid, and that's in that other supplement. So she's going to get it through that.
Okay. Okay.
And she needs a magnesium potassium.
Okay.
Magnesium potassium together work on blood pressure, heart rhythm, muscle spasms. The heart is a muscle. So that's so important. You know?
What would the chromium do?
So the chromium also with cinnamon helps balance the sugar throughout the day.
Okay.
So she won't get ups and downs. And what that would do is it would shoot the sugar up, but then the sugar will crash.
Okay.
So a way to sustain is to give your body chromium, but also to give your body protein throughout the day.
Okay.
So it can sustain the sugar throughout the day.
Okay.
Giving yourself sugar here and there, it's going to hurt the body. The body's going to shoot up, it's going to shoot down.
Pancreas is not producing those enzymes?
The pancreas is not producing the enzymes. But you were also telling me that this person is inflamed, is in pain.
Okay.
So there are specific enzymes that we could recommend.
Okay.
There are digestive enzymes that help break down the food.
Okay.
But then there are proteolytic enzymes that work in the body to bring down inflammation. So the proteolytic ones, what they do when you take a proteolytic enzyme on an empty body, it's like Pac-Man.
Okay.
It goes through the body and it eats up what doesn't belong there.
I see.
So it's going to break down anything that doesn't belong in the blood, cholesterol,
Okay.
plaque,
Oh, okay.
hard shell proteins, cancer.
Oh, okay.
So it's something we need.
Yeah.
Inflammation markers.
Yeah.
The liver is the air conditioning filter for the body. Everything you eat, you drink, you breathe gets filtered through this liver. The liver does about 300 things for the body. It supports the hormones, it supports the neurotransmitters, it processes food, it processes blood. If the liver isn't working the way it needs to work, nothing's going to get done. So we need to clean out the liver.
Okay.
If you're taking meds, it has to process those meds.
Okay.
If you're taking NSAIDs, it's hurting the liver.
Right.
So we're going to work on supporting the liver, giving the liver something it needs.
Okay.
We do a clean out once, twice a year.
Okay.
But if you're taking meds, you need to be on support all the time.
Okay.
So now that the assessment is finished, we get a printout. And we're going to go over the printout, see what's good, what isn't good, what needs to be supported, and what's working very well on its own.
Okay.
Red or yellow would be out of balance.
Okay.
So this was somebody's first visit. They have a lot of green, but they have some issues that need to be worked on.
Okay.
And giving them the proper supplements that they were lacking, supporting their body. This was their second visit, which is
Wow.
all in balance. We were just working on one chronic problem.
Okay.
And that's after a month.
Okay.
So that's what we're working on. That's how the body could be supported when you're working with it energetically, giving the body what it needs.
Okay.
The body's going to come into balance again. The person's going to feel better. And that's what it's all about.
All right.